Those people lived in bondage for 5 years. And they existed, they didn't live.
We knew the Germans were on the run, and like an animal on the run is vicious.
When we was going through Belgium, they was going through the little villages and stuff like that, and just singing right through, just going. They couldn't keep up with the Germans, they were chasing them.
Quand la famine s'est mise à Amsterdam, le monde, après tout mourir de faim, c'était même avec des squelettes.
On a vu des enfants d'hiver, là, des fois, pas de souliers, pas de body, puis lichés dans des grands couverts de poubelles, là, lichés là-dedans, là, assez à trouver du manger.
The one experience that stands out above all others is to put your life on the line. It's to walk beside a guy knowing damn well that if he stepped on a mine, he would tell you he'd push you out of the way and he'd let the mine blow him up.
The guy next to me got hit, and the sound of a bullet striking flesh is just awful. You never forget it.
The greatest thing for the morale of troops is, in the front line, is to know that there are first aid facilities, ambulances and so on, right there in the front.
Taking an extra minute to just stop by the bedside and say, well, how are you today? Have you heard from home? These kinds of things were what made the difference in the lives of the wounded, I think.
And near the end of the war, when there was so many raids and so many planes didn't come back, and to think that they were gone.
I'm going to tell you your chances. Look to your right and look to your left. This time next year, there will only be one of you.
The ones you joined up with and went into battle with are becoming less and less. Then mentally you become that you know it's your turn next. It just has to be, because they're all gone.
It doesn't come free. We've given up an awful lot. And they're out there under the stones.
Pilot Officer Thomas James Brewer, Royal Canadian Air Force, died February the 20th, 1944, age 21. Son of Thomas and Ella Brewer of Shawinigan Lake, British Columbia. Buried in the Amersfoort Old Leusden General Cemetery. Sergent Joseph-Louis-Émile Lalonde, les fusillés Mont-Royal, décédé le 14 mars 1945 à l'âge de 27 ans. Fils de William et Mary-Anne Lalonde de Montréal, Québec, enterré au cimetière de guerre canadien de Rosebeek. Private Leon Dalbert Allward, New Brunswick Rangers, died April the 14th, 1945, age 23. Son of Weldon and Wavy Allward of Havelock, New Brunswick, buried at Holton Canadian War Cemetery. Today, May the 8th, is the 75th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day. This date, in 1945, was celebrated by crowds in Canada, Europe, and many allied nations around the world to mark the official end of the Second World War in Europe. More than 1 million Canadians and Newfoundlanders served in the Second World War, and more than 45,000 gave their lives. We thank them for their bravery and service in the defense of our peace and freedom. Aujourd'hui, le 8 mai, marque le 75e anniversaire du Jour de la Victoire en Europe. À cette date, en 1945, le Canada, l'Europe et de nombreuses nations alliées célébraient ensemble le Jour de la Victoire en Europe et soulignaient ainsi la fin officielle de la Seconde Guerre mondiale en Europe. Plus d'1 million de Canadiens et de Terre-Neuviens ont pris part à la Seconde Guerre mondiale et plus de 45 000 d'entre eux y ont laissé leur vie. Nous les remercions pour leur bravoure et leur service à la défense de notre paix et notre liberté.
It had lasted for 5 long years of rationing and misery, but in the spring of 1945, following the advances of the Allies, everyone was finally seeing the end of the Second World War. The news of the German surrender spread on the 8th of May, 1945, and everywhere, people took to the streets in an outpouring of emotion to celebrate the victory. The war was not completely over in Asia, but the Nazi threat was no more. Ce conflit fut le plus meurtrier de toute l'histoire. Plus de 70 millions de morts, civils et militaires. 6 millions de Juifs et d'autres mal-aimés qui ont payé de leur dignité et de leur vie le dessein funeste d'un régime raciste. Déportés, ils ont péri dans de terribles souffrances. Il ne faut jamais oublier les horreurs de l'Holocauste, les ravages de la haine. More than 1 million Canadians served in the wartime forces and played a vital role in the Battle of the Atlantic and in the Normandy and Italian campaigns. They fought against some of the best German troops on the Dutch and Belgium fronts, and they earned the respect of all in the air war over Germany. Canadian fighters left a legacy of great pride, embodied in unforgettable names like Dieppe, Lesko, Ortona, Juno. Les Canadiens ont contribué à assurer la victoire des Alliés au prix d'immenses sacrifices. Plus de 43 000 de nos vaillants soldats, marins et aviateurs ne sont jamais rentrés au pays. 75 ans plus tard, nous nous souvenons d'eux, mais aussi des nombreux legs de cette guerre, dont un plan de reconstruction sans précédent qui a permis de tisser des liens qui, aujourd'hui encore, influencent nos vies. In the aftermath of peace, several international organizations were established. Thousands of survivors of this seemingly endless war found refuge in Canada. They brought their cultures to flourish in our great country, helping forge the Canadian identity. The magnitude and costs of the war made us realize that the prosperity of some is not possible without the prosperity of all. Cela doit nous encourager à travailler ensemble, à collaborer en temps de paix et en temps de crise, comme maintenant, durant la pandémie. In this month of May 2020, let us celebrate freedom and remain strong in the face of adversity.
On May 8, 1945, the war in Europe came to an end. And on that day, our grandparents knew what we are called to remember now, that the courage and the sacrifice of so many had finally prevailed. Aujourd'hui, en ce 75e anniversaire du jour de la victoire en Europe, on prend un moment pour rendre hommage à ceux qui se sont battus et qui ont donné leur vie durant la Seconde Guerre mondiale. Ils se sont tenus debout contre la tyrannie et l'oppression et ont fait le sacrifice ultime pour que nous puissions maintenant vivre en paix. On doit beaucoup aux anciens combattants, aux soldats morts au combat, à leurs proches et à toutes les personnes sur le front. More than 1 million Canadians and Newfoundlanders served in the military. Over 45,000 lost their lives, and another 55,000 were wounded. Their courage and their sacrifice changed the course of history. This week also marks the 75th anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands. As many as 175,000 Canadian soldiers were a part of the 8-month-long campaign that, town by town, canal by canal, pushed back the occupying German forces. More than 7,600 Canadians made the ultimate sacrifice. They fought and they died to defend the values that we hold dear: freedom, peace, and equality. And we are forever grateful. On célèbre habituellement ces anniversaires en assistant à des cérémonies organisées en Europe et ici au pays. Mais on se trouve présentement dans une situation exceptionnelle. Cette année, on ne peut pas se rassembler dans les cimetières en Europe pour rendre hommage à ces braves Canadiens. On ne peut pas non plus remercier en personne le peuple néerlandais qui continue d'entretenir avec soin les lieux de repos où nos soldats tombés au combat. Puis, on ne peut pas non plus marcher aux côtés d'anciens combattants canadiens pour célébrer leur courage et les remercier de tout ce qu'ils ont fait. Malgré tout, ça ne signifie pas qu'on ne peut pas rendre hommage à ceux qui se sont battus et qui ont donné leur vie pour nous. On peut le faire et on doit le faire. In our homes and in our hearts, today we remember the brave Canadians who served in the Second World War. We honor our veterans and their profound courage, service, and sacrifice. We also pay tribute to the women and men who serve in uniform today and their families who serve alongside them. Dans nos maisons et dans nos cœurs, aujourd'hui, on se souvient des braves Canadiens qui ont servi pendant la Seconde Guerre mondiale. On honore nos vétérans, leur courage énorme, leur service et leur sacrifice. On rend également hommage aux femmes et aux hommes qui portent l'uniforme aujourd'hui, ainsi qu'aux membres de leur famille qui les accompagnent. We are forever thankful et nous n'oublierons jamais.
I am honored to attend this virtual commemorative ceremony to mark the 75th anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands and VE Day. Although many commemorations and celebrations were cancelled or postponed in both the Netherlands and in Canada, we hope our messages of gratitude will still be received through these digital media. Canadian forces played a decisive role in the liberation of the Netherlands. After the Battle of the Scheldt in the fall of 1944, Canadian soldiers helped the Dutch people get through the hunger winter with Operation Faust and Operation Manna. In the spring of 1945, Canadian and other Allied forces liberated the east and the north of the Netherlands, followed by the surrender of the Nazi forces on May 5, 1945. The people of the Netherlands will never forget that more than 7,000 Canadians gave their lives in the effort to free our country. We will forever be grateful. Most of those Canadian soldiers are buried at one of the 3 major Canadian cemeteries in the Netherlands. Last Monday, May the 4th, was Dutch Remembrance Day, and many flowers and wreaths were laid at those cemeteries. Notre gratitude à l'égard des Canadiens et leur rôle dans l'histoire de notre pays est tellement grande qu'elle ne pourra jamais être oubliée. In honor of this special anniversary, the Kingdom of the Netherlands repeated the 1945 gift of 100,000 tulips from the Dutch royal family, who found a safe haven during the war years in Ottawa. This gift is part of the 1.1 million Liberation 75 tulips that Canadians have planted across the country, including students from more than 1,100 high schools. This means 1 tulip for each Canadian who took part in the Second World War effort. These Liberation 75 tulips will bloom this spring, and many Canadians will be sharing photos online. These photos will inspire a brighter hope for the future. In addition to sharing powerful historical bonds, Canada and the Netherlands are also linked with each other through our mutual key values and goals, not to mention our many personal connections. All this was made possible by those brave Canadian soldiers 75 years ago. Whilst all our public commemorations and celebrations have been cancelled or postponed, I look forward to engaging with you digitally through our social media channels, as we are commemorating and celebrating 75 years of freedom and VE Day online. But I hope to be able to meet some of you in person again soon. Thank you, Canada.
Thank you for taking time to join us as we commemorate the 75th anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands and victory in Europe. For nearly 6 years, supported by a monumental effort on the home front, Canadians served and fought through the swells of the Atlantic, the mountains of Italy, and the streets of the Netherlands and beyond. Today, we thank those like Tommy Prince and Ojibwe from Manitoba, who became a commando decorated for bravery by King George. Like Elsa Lassard, sworn to secrecy after a war spent cracking codes and hunting U-boats. And like Jack Birch, who beat the odds and returned home after flying mission after deadly mission over occupied Europe. Their legacy of courage, of sacrifice, and of stubborn perseverance in the face of enormous challenges has endured to this day, and I hope that we will continue to live up to the example they set for us. Today, as ever, we are tremendously grateful for their service, and that of all who continue to step forward to represent Canada with the maple leaf on their shoulder. Lest we forget.
My name is Roy Lewis. I'm from the Samson Cree Nation in Muscatine, Alberta, Canada. I'm very honored to do this opening prayer for you and all people that are here today. I would like to say my prayer in my own Cree language, which is the Plains Cree of our territory. Ha ma mo yo tawi mao. Kina na skomp na na rosa giskak. A semen up tak giskawe mia disse he totama. Magek toche nista na pege asta mauna la magwes mountainese kan tap mi spike. Kak ketis tab ma ya kwesen dai sinim nanak. Haak semanto. Ego mi misen totama ya. Ta mismi ya kan magwes ntortamon. Diswitsi hajakutaka kai sino. Eksuogi minuuta hajatsek, igi penoodin geetsek, ktaskin ootse. Missu eskamik pitta kohteets kohta. Igi huitsihtaasutse kuistaa. Ega ui kaats kapun heaa kanget. Ega tis maito tahkeekoi. Maagakki jaank huitsihenaan kahki o muutahan osaapi tohtea. Emme te saapsihtaan skehtämaungen. Minä tesan storta maasua kiogiikoi. O tenigaan kisua pahta tai sinimnaana minä kioao. Ai hai. Me wits ai hai asnis.
dans le respect des croyances individuelles et de la conscience de chacun et chacune, je vous invite à prendre un moment de prière ou de recueillement. Today, when we would so dearly love to stand together to honor the service and the sacrifice of so many in the cause of freedom, we must do so separately. Time has not diminished our gratitude and the inspiration we draw from the more than 237,000 Canadians who served during the liberation of the Netherlands 75 years ago. Maintenant, tournons-nous vers celui qui est plus grand que nous et prions. Dieu, notre force dans l'adversité, nous te rendons grâce pour le peuple des Pays-Bas dont la force et la détermination lui ont permis de survivre aux jours les plus sombres de l'occupation. Nous nous souvenons de ceux et celles qui ont perdu la vie à cause des ravages de la guerre. Que leur vie et leur histoire renouvellent notre engagement en faveur de la réconciliation et de la paix. Each year, the close and the lasting relationship between Canadians and the Dutch people is celebrated with the blooming of tulips in Ottawa. These flowers are a living reminder of the beauty of life and the gratitude of the people of Netherlands. On this 75th anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands and the victory in Europe, we remember and pay respects to our fallen by answering their call to peace. Dans cette espérance, nous te prions. Amen.
They shall not grow old as we who are left grow old. Age shall not worry them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Ils ne vieilliront jamais comme nous quand nous les avons survécus. Ils ne connaîtront jamais l'outrage ni le chose des années, le poids des années. Quand viendront tous les capicules et celles de l'aurore, nous nous souviendrons d'eux.
They were young as we are young.
They served, giving freely of themselves.
To them we pledge amid the winds of time.
To carry their torch and never forget.
We will remember them.
Ils étaient jeunes, jeunes comme nous.
Ils ont servi, donnant généreusement d'eux-mêmes.
Nous leur promettons, en dépit du temps qui passe,
de porter le flambeau et de ne jamais oublier.
Nous nous souviendrons d'eux.
And the order we heard on the guns, we'd never heard since D-Day. Ceasefire, empty guns. The war was over.
Il m'a dit, va dire aux gars au front que la guerre est finie. Ceasefire. Ça fait que ça, c'était pour moi c'était le highlight de la guerre. La journée que c'était fini.
They sang their beautiful national anthem, and they had their own flags. It was wonderful.
And there are a lot of veterans today who are living and experiencing good thoughts, good memories of what their contribution has been over the years.
Pour eux autres, les Canadiens, c'est les vrais libérateurs en Allemagne. Le monde nous acclamait, puis ça nous reste marqué quand même.
I can understand why you kiss the soil that you come back to. You come back to freedom.
Un message du gouvernement du Canada.